Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and sorry if I sound a bit sick, that's because I am a bit sick, but today I'm gonna try and play with this. This is kind of my storage server. It's a Lenovo x3x50 Model 4 that I've been trying all kinds of stuff with to get it working with these drives over here. In the future I'm gonna be messing with this drive down, or storage bay. It's just a bunch of disks, lots of them. Over here there's 48 bays for disks, and behind me there is 70. So there's a lot of disks. I'm probably gonna get rid of these at some point, but right now I'm just gonna be playing with them. I had a big problem with a storage controller in here. It was just too old. It was an old Adaptec that came out of a Sun server, and it wasn't able to use UEFI, only able to use legacy BIOS, which is getting old. So a good subscriber and patron of mine, I think it's Andrew from Canada, he sent me a message on Patreon and asked if I would be interested in a RAID controller, a really awesome one. I couldn't refuse, even though it's a Hewlett-Packard RAID controller, but it's a really cool one. This is the I believe it's the, does it say anywhere? No, they have went out of their way to hide that from me. I believe it's the P441. It's an 2x12 gigabit SAS RAID controller, and it's also able to work as an HPE. It does have a wire for a battery out. Oh, come on, out there. So battery or super capacitors or whatever. I don't have that at the moment, but I'm very interested in knowing if I'll be able to put this Hewlett-Packard RAID controller in a Lenovo server, and that's more or less what we're going to be trying today. There's also some metal brackets for it, and I do believe I need this. Well, I don't know, it has this plastic thing here on the back. Not sure what they were thinking when they did that. Probably it's supposed to get more air through. Don't know if that should be there or if it shouldn't be there for this configuration. But let's open the server and put this in and see. Then we'll just power it on and see what the server sees, and probably also we need to go into the BIOS and tell it that now it can run UEFI BIOS instead of legacy BIOS. So yeah, well, we need to mount that bracket. Let's see the server first and see which bracket we need to mount. Okay, so here we have the server. There's a big plastic thing here that hides the RAM, two processors. These are the Intel Xeon E3670s, two 8-core CPUs, and they're how fast are they? 2.6 gigahertz, I think. Yeah. So that's hiding down there. Back here we have a RAID controller on the system board, a bit hard to see. I believe it's the 1115 that are sitting down here, and that controls the 4 drives that are up in front of the server here. It has room for 4 more if you should be so lucky to get those. It also has another RAID controller on the system board, which is more of an HPE, so you can connect 4 drives there. So it has a lot of RAID options actually. So, but it also has this doubtful. Well, it has given me nothing but trouble. Sun Solar's RAID controller. Really, it says Intel here, so no, it was an Adaptec RAID controller. So we are popping that one out. That has not been working. I'm sure the RAID controller works fine, but well, haven't had much luck with it. So I did just measure a little bit and see if I would be able to fit this in here, and it seems like that could happen. that this rate controller could sit right there, although it's gonna be sitting on top of some cables here. Let's just check that before we mount it too well. Yeah, it's gonna be messing a little bit with the CD-ROM cable up front. Should we do that, or should we move it over? It's these cables for the CD-ROM drive. Might be able to bend that in another direction so that it takes up less space. I think it's good. We can put that on top of there. So we will mount the small bracket on this and pop that in. Andrew supplied both of the brackets for it, so that's cool. Oh, here is the small bracket and screw, and there is even another screw, so awesome. Okay, so here is the small bracket, low form factor or half height, or well, what you call it. It goes on the card like that, and then it screws through here. Cool. I must add, this is actually a really expensive card, so I will link it in the description if you want to go check it out. But wait until we see if this works at all. I'm sure it works fine in HP machines, but will it work in a Lenovo / IBM? Well, we will know soon enough, hopefully. Cool. Mounted. So we'll put that in here. Yes, that's gonna work fine. Let's see that. Looks good. The two 12 gigabit SAS connectors coming out the back, ready to plug in a battery that I do not have, unfortunately. Those must be widely available somewhere. I don't like all these connectors right here. It feels when you pop it in that they're gonna touch this piece of metal, but they're actually not, because this is further out than what it's going into, but it feels wrong just when you do it. And this plastic thing. Are we gonna do that? Okay, change of plans. I moved it over to I put on the big metal bracket here, and we're gonna put it in here. Well, the full height slot there. I took out a graphics card. Well, we put that in an earlier video. It was this one, NVIDIA Quadro 410 something. Does it say? Yeah, Quadro 410. Not a very powerful graphics card at all. So yeah, we're gonna borrow that slot instead. So right now there is nothing in the other slot. So let's pop that in. Yes, that's way better. So with this new controller, it does not use the same plugs as the old controller. These are the 6 gigabit SAS connectors, and the ones that are in there are the 12 gigabit SAS connectors, and therefore you need new cables. So I was so lucky to get to talk to the right man at work, and he mounts a lot of DELL SANs for us. And I asked if he just happened to have a cable like that, and guess what? He did. He promised to check at home if he had a cable, and he brought me back not one cable but 2 cables, which is fantastic. You can see this one. That's the 6 gigabit SAS. That would fit in the old card here, but for the new card we need the other end, which is the 12 gigabit
SAS connector, and a cable like this, they're not that cheap. So that was a total win-win. Plus I didn't have to wait for shipping. So I'm gonna be plugging that in. So one end will go into the storage box and the other end will go into the controller. There is one tiny little problem though. That is that this is the 6 gigabit SAS connector. That's not the SAS connector that is used in these NetApp storage boxes down here. Those are actually, I believe, QSFPs connectors that are in there. They are a little bit longer, so I'm not gonna be able to use those boxes with the new card unless I find some cables for it, which is not this one, but this one fits with the Hewlett Packard over here. That one has the right connectors, these connectors, so we're gonna be able to power that up and connect that. But that means that all the drives that I have down here, I'm not gonna be able to use those. But again, I was a bit lucky. A subscriber of mine, Thomas from Germany, he sent me some more storage boxes or trays for the Hewlett Packard over there. So now I am up to 4. He sent me 4 and I have 2 already. So now I can put in 6 drives in my 70 hard drive storage box. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. I hope these fits. I will check that. These comes from 250 gigabyte SATA drives, but we'll find some drives and put in those and put them in the storage box over there. Okay, so here we are around the back of the storage box, and the 6 gigabit SAS connectors has to go in there. There are 2 connectors. This box contains of 4 of these controllers, and we are just going to be using the 2 top one, and we're going to be putting in one connector in port 1 here and one connector in port 1 over here. 35 drives available here, and there are 35 drives available here. I'm not going to be using that many, so let's take the connector here and pop that in there. See if it fits. It fits. It goes in. It's very tight in there. Cool. And I have to there is not a lot of room here, so I have to be careful about the cables, how to get those out of there, and they have to come over here to connect to the server. So as always, it's bloody impossible to film out here. There is no room back here, so yeah, I have connected the server back. It has power, it has the SAS connectors from over here, it has networking, and it has screen and mouse. Screen and keyboard, that is. Screen, keyboard and mouse. So yeah, we should be good. Need the flashlight back. But we need to power this thing. There. Oh yeah. Oh, it moves a lot of air right now. Okay. And we power on the server. There. We have something on the screen immediately. I am blessed with good weather right now, which means a big sun flare in the screen. But let's go into the BIOS and see what we got. Okay, right now it's loading volume add drivers. Has been doing that for a while. I hope it continues at some point. Yeah, I think we have a problem here. It has been trying to boot for the last 20 minutes and it has never gotten further than this. It's gonna reboot in well, not that long, and yeah, this sucks. Okay, so without the card, I have it here, I took it out. Yeah, it's easier said than done. I had to uncable everything, pull the server out, and take the card out. Well, maybe we have to change this to UEFI BIOS before we can use this card. Maybe. Okay, so we get a message here that it has failed booting. and that we should check our hardware, which we kind of did. So press any key has been key pressed has been detected. System will enter setup. Yeah, cool. Thank you. And it also says down here that a failure of booting had occurred. So let's check this. So without the card, it boots just fine, no problem whatsoever. Oh, except seems that I have a bad hard drive on it. Doesn't matter, it still boots VMware. It's just a test VMware. Didn't even bother to put in the network connections. But let's pop it out again and try put this in again. This is what we're testing. We're not just trying VMware. Okay, have the server out. I have put other cables on it so that I can actually work on it here. But I'm gonna disconnect power. Just to make sure that I don't do anything too stupid. So let's pop that Hewlett-Packard card in there again. This is a PCI Express 3 and this is a PCI Express 3x8, so everything should be good there. And the card looks very good in here, so why isn't it working? So, we're not gonna power it up without the LED on because we totally ruined the airflow, but we don't have to. I don't have to put it on very good. We just have to have it there. So, yeah, let's power it on again. Screen and mouse is still connected. Check. Making a lot of noise. Normally I can't hear that because the server is all the way back there. But out here it's making noises. So let's get the screen on here. Same thing. Don't believe we've ever done this before. Yeah, and now we wait. What I did in the BIOS, well, it loaded itself default, and I think default might be good. So let's see. We have IMM memory initializing. We have some initializing LUVAT drivers. This is where it fails, if it fails. So yeah, this will probably take a while. I will I'll get back to you. Yeah, this is not working. It has been trying to boot for the last over half an hour. I've been at the computer. We're gonna take the card out again. I think I might try it in the Lenovo x3x50 M5 over here. Yeah, let's try that. So I've changed the monitor to now be on the x3x50 M5 over here, and we need to get out of that. It's in the BIOS. I did a video where I installed a feature on demand code, and I tried to register the computer as well at Lenovo. Yeah, there is some warranty problem with it. It was registered at Lenovo back in February. I've been trying to get Lenovo to recognize that this is a new server. That I even sent them a video of me unboxing it. It's a hassle. So let's shut it down. Exit. Yes. So I'll power it off and we will try and put the card in there. I need to put in the other bracket again. Awesome. So yeah, it fits very well in the M5, except this piece of plastic that is sticking up. I need to remove that, I'm sure. Okay, it does come off. It don't want to come off, but it did come off. So I'll keep it around. Yeah, this does look really nice. So cool card, but will it run in a server that is not an HP? That would be nice too.
I'll let that wire sit there. I know I'll lose it if I take it off. Okay, I have powered the server, and oh, we can go into the BIOS here. So we're gonna do that. See if connecting boot devices. Oh, I'm crossing my fingers. If it works, that Lenovo x3x50 Model 5 might just become a new storage server. Do we see our devices here? Oh, that wasn't it. We need to go system settings and adapters and UEFI drivers. Hit it again. Okay, we have the built-in device. We have Broadcom network cards. Yeah, we don't see it. It doesn't pop up as a usual. PCI, UEFI device in here. Bit odd. Okay, I totally overlooked that. It says here driver health setup for Smart Array. Smart Array is a Hewlett-Packard thing. And surely enough, it says in here, exit and launch HP Smart Administration HP SSA. Yeah, we might be able to do that doing booting. We're not able to do anything in here. It's grayed out. Also, health, driver health. In here it also shows up down there, Smart Array SAS. So the card is kind of healthy. It says it's healthy. So yeah, let's try and boot again and see if it pops up doing boot. I don't believe I have booted this server on anything yet, so yeah, we'll just try and see what happens. Okay, so I went into the computer and I downloaded this HP SSA, which is a Hewlett-Packard storage server storage assistant, something, and I mounted it. So now we should be able to boot this Lenovo server, and it should start this Hewlett-Packard thing. It's the theory anyway. I'm gonna try that and we'll see if it works. Okay, so I pressed F12 and I'm guessing that we have to pick this CD-ROM drive there to be able to boot from that. Let's see if that does anything good for us. Go ISO file, please. Okay, it helped booting in legacy mode and then connecting to the CD-ROM drive, which again is connected to the, well, have mounted an ISO file, and we have different things that we can do here. Offline, not sure which one we should use here. Offline administrator. Oh, it's Hewlett-Packard Smart Storage Administrator. Sorry, it wasn't server. Oh, well, let's try the top one. Yeah, that's a thing we're running on the Lenovo server. Well, a big fat Hewlett-Packard logo coming up. Oh, booting 3%. Awesome. Yeah, I guess we'll be back. It booted. I could have watched my grandchildren grow up while it did that. It was so slow. But the controller that we installed in here, the P441, is not among them, and it does not detect the controller over here. So the Smart Storage Administrator here might be too old. We did get part of the way, so we didn't exactly get that far in this video. Oh, we found a lot of stuff that wouldn't work. Often that is also valuable information that if I have totally failed at something, might not be a good reason for you to try it as well. Unless you kind of think that you know that this should work. But I was not able to get this up and running in the x36, in the x3550 M4. It just didn't want to boot. And over here in the newer M5, it knows that the card is in there. We just need to figure out how to configure it. If there is a newer version of this HP Smart Storage Administrator. I did think I got the latest version, but I was in there and I checked and I could see that the version that I downloaded, it was only available for server 2012, And as we are at server 2016 and I'm waiting for server 2019, it might not be the latest and the greatest, but if we get this controller up and running, we could install some virtualization software on this server, and we could pass that controller through to a virtual machine, which I would really like to do. That would be nice. So yeah, that's the plan so far. So are we gonna call this a failure? Well, if you think so, please give it a like in the thingy down here. Give it a big fat like. And all your knowledge in the comments below would be awesome. If I am a shithead beyond belief, please let me know. No, don't let me know that, but let me know why you think so. I don't need to know that. I just need to know why. What did I do wrong? I would like to know that. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye. Sneak peek. It works. It just needed a new version of this smart storage administrator. It now sees the, let's see, it sees the controller. It's complaining that it has no drives. That's about it.